Right now, under 1 million hoods, the same small explosion is happening thousands of times a minute. Fuel meets air, a spark, a controlled bang, and somehow that violence becomes a smooth, quiet ride down the street. Let's slice an engine open and slow it down until you can watch a single drop of gasoline turn into motion. 1 cylinder, 4 simple steps, the same 4 steps over and over, faster than you can blink. Picture a smooth metal tube sealed at the top with a snug plug inside that can slide up and down. That plug is the piston, and the tube is the cylinder. Above the piston sits a small pocket of space. Everything an engine does happens in that pocket. Fuel will arrive there, air will arrive there, and the piston will trap both, squeeze them, and ride the blast that follows. Hold this picture. We are about to fill it. Gasoline alone will not do much. To burn fast and hard, it needs oxygen, and oxygen comes from ordinary air. So the engine mixes them, a fine mist of fuel blended into a rush of air, roughly 1 part fuel to 14 parts air. That mixture is the whole secret. Spread thin enough to catch fire instantly, rich enough to release real energy. Get the ratio wrong and the engine stumbles. Get it right and it is ready to bang. The piston starts at the top and drops. As it falls, it pulls the chamber wide open and the empty space sucks like a syringe. At the same moment, a small door at the top, the intake valve, swings open. Through it pours that fuel and air mist, rushing in to fill the growing void. The piston reaches the bottom. The valve snaps shut. Now the chamber is loaded, sealed tight, holding a fresh breath of explosive mixture and waiting. Both valves are closed now, so nothing can escape. The piston reverses and climbs back up, and it has nowhere to send the trapped mixture but into a smaller and smaller space. The fuel and air get crushed together, packed into a fraction of their old volume. Squeezing them does something important. It crowds the molecules close, so when they finally light, they burn almost instantly. The pressure builds. The chamber is tense, 1 spark away from releasing everything. At the very top of the squeeze, the spark plug fires, a tiny blue arc of electricity in the crowded chamber. The packed mixture ignites all at once and erupts into hot, expanding gas. That gas needs room, and the only thing that can move is the piston. So it slams the piston down, hard. This is the power stroke, the single moment the engine actually pushes. Every other step exists to set up this one violent shove downward. The bang is over, but the chamber is full of spent, smoky gas, and it has to go. The piston, having reached the bottom, rises 1 more time. A second door at the top, the exhaust valve opens, and the climbing piston shoves the burnt gas out through it, clearing the chamber completely. By the time the piston nears the top, the room is empty again, swept clean and ready. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. The cycle is complete. It begins again. Here is the clever part. The piston only goes up and down, but wheels need to spin. So the bottom of the piston connects to a rod, and that rod grips a crankshaft, a thick bar with an offset bend in it. When the piston is shoved down, the rod pushes the bend sideways, and the whole crankshaft rolls over like your leg turning a bicycle pedal. Straight line force becomes rotation. That spinning shaft is the engine's true output. All of this only works if the valves and the spark happen at exactly the right instant. So the crankshaft drives a second shaft, the camshaft, through a belt or chain. The camshaft is studded with egg-shaped lobes, and as it turns, each lobe presses a valve open, then lets it close. Because both shafts spin together, the doors always open on the right stroke, and never when the piston is rising into them. Timing is everything. The chain keeps it honest. 1 cylinder only pushes once every 4 strokes, so on its own it would lurch and stall. The fix is to add more. 4 cylinders, or 6 or 8, share 1 crankshaft, but they are staggered, so their power strokes are spread out in time. While one is firing, another is squeezing, another is breathing in. The shoves overlap into a steady stream, and a heavy flywheel smooths the rest. The result feels less like banging and more like a hum. That smooth, spinning crankshaft now has somewhere to go. It feeds into the transmission, a box of gears that trade speed for force, or force for speed, depending on whether you are starting from a stop or cruising the highway. From there, the spin travels down a shaft to the wheels, and the road finally feels it. The little explosions you started with, multiplied and timed and smoothed, are now simply carrying the whole car forward. Let's run it once more, start to finish. Fuel and air mix into a fine mist. Intake, the piston drops and breathes it in. Compression, the piston rises and crushes it. Power, the spark fires and the blast drives the piston down. Exhaust, the piston rises and sweeps the smoke out. The connecting rod turns that motion into a spinning crankshaft. The camshaft times the valves, many cylinders smooth the rhythm, and the transmission carries it all to the wheels. So the next time an engine settles into its quiet idle, remember what is really happening inside. Hundreds of tiny, perfectly timed explosions every second, each one caught, squeezed, fired, and swept away. All of it turned into a smooth and patient spin. Controlled violence, repeated forever, carrying you down the road. That is the Cutaway. One everyday machine, opened up and made clear. Stay curious about the things that hum quietly all around you.